Today, we are going to go over the backstory of Nicky Roth, the protagonist of Hello Neighbor. Now, as you may know, Nicky, before he moved into Ravenbrook, he was a veteran of World War II who fought for his country back in the 1940s. And he earned the name Fast Boy because of his ability to run, as we can see him run here. And that is canon in the Hello Neighbor universe. And this ball actually represents Nicky's father running away from him as a kid. Right here, Nicky is witnessing his friend Zac Efron get captured by the Hello Neighbor. The reason that the Hello Neighbor is capturing Zac Efron is because he didn't like High School Musical. He noticed that Zac Efron was lip-syncing during the movie and decided that that was a good reason to lock him up, because Zac Efron was not using his actual voice. But then he sees Nicky and remembers him in World War II and goes to capture him. And that is where the game begins. Now, you know that Nicky, back in World War II, he used a strategy where he liked to use boxes to get to places he couldn't reach. And that was actually what helped him defeat Adolf Hitler. So, this vase right here represents Zac Efron's favorite vase. And Nicky is using it to save Zac Efron, which is nice of Nicky, because Zac Efron loves that vase. The reason that the Hello Neighbor is so cranky is because his wife died in a car crash. His wife's name was Emma Stone, and that was around a year before these events. Yeah. And the Hello Neighbor did have a daughter. Her name was, I think it was, if I remember correctly, his daughter was named Enzo Esposito. And we can see here that, okay, this magnet in the trunk represents Nicky being attracted to Zac Efron, because Nicky is actually a fan of High School Musical, which is why he's trying to save Zac Efron in the first place. As you can see, the Hello Neighbor is quite agile, as he jumped over that window without a problem. Now, this is Nicky's house. Nicky was actually... This was Nicky's house when he was a child. That was in like the 1920s. It's currently 1996. I think Nicky was like... Nicky grew up in this house from... What was his name? Dwayne Johnson? Yeah, Dwayne Johnson was his father. Until, of course, as I said in the beginning, Dwayne Johnson left him as a child. So yeah, Dwayne Johnson didn't really like his son much. This wrench actually represents Nicky fixing his relationship with Zac Efron, because Zac Efron was actually Nicky's boyfriend, and it was pretty weird. It was an odd relationship because Zac Efron always had movies to do, but Nicky was always just Nicky. Nicky didn't really have anything in life, and his famous boyfriend Zac Efron was always busy doing movies, so Nicky never had time to spend with him. It was sort of a long distance thing. Alright, now this is the basement where Zac Efron is locked up. These fake paintings represent how Nicky thinks his relationship with Zac Efron is not real. Because Nicky doesn't actually know if he's in a relationship with Zac Efron, because he keeps getting brainwashed. Zac Efron erases his memory every time they go on a date. And that's actually the key plot in this story. Because that's why in the second act, Nicky just sees Zac Efron as a cardboard cutout, because at that point, he doesn't even remember what Zac Efron looks like anymore. I don't think this is how I'm supposed to beat this, but it works, I guess. Oh, wait, this is the wrong patch. That thing's not down. Okay, I'll just do the other way. And Theodore moved in. Sorry, not Theodore. Theodore was actually the Hello Neighbor's best friend. The Hello Neighbor actually he moved in around, I'd say, 50s. Right here he's chasing Nicky because he does not want Nicky to get Zac Efron. He will keep Zac Efron locked until Zac Efron agrees to stop doing High School Musical movies. Right here, Nicky Roth wakes up, and you can see right here that he sees Zac Efron as a cardboard boy. Nicky has already gone through so much brain erasing that he doesn't even remember who Zac Efron is anymore. That's why he's escaping, because he doesn't even know why he's in the basement to begin with. And Nicky actually learned a new strategy after World War II, where if he used a crate the right way, that crate would make him fly. And that's actually his superpower. I just gotta get it right, and we can do this correctly. Yeah. Alright, now this is Nicky escaping, while Hello Neighbor opens up the gate. But he hears Zac Efron break a window, and realizes he can't let Zac Efron do any more lip-syncing, and has to force him to do the High School Musical movie without lip-syncing. "200 years later, Nicky wakes up in his apartment in the city of Gravity Falls, Oregon. And he hasn't really paid his bills much, and he's getting evicted for it, which is a problem for Nicky. But he realizes that he actually has a new place to live. He can go back to his home from hundreds of years ago. and that's where this comes in. Nicky is moving back to Wayron Cruz after leaving Gravity Falls, and he starts to remember everything. He remembers how Zac Efron was there with him, how Zac Efron was always there for him, but he always ignored Zac Efron because he couldn't even remember who Zac Efron was. This blue key and blue lock represents how the lighting in Hello Guest prototype is blue. There's Nicky looking at a picture of his 40-year-old self. He's not doing too good right now. I think he's going through some trauma after losing Zac Efron. That clicking foreshadowed the Hello Guest, because this game predicted the Hello Guest. Nicky wakes up and realizes he never even entered Ravenbrooks in the first place. He was always in Gravity Falls, Oregon. And he is now in the weirdness bubble, has trapped everything from his past life in. And this isn't even Hello Neighbor, this is actually Bill Cipher possessing the Hello Neighbor. The Hello Neighbor wasn't even a bad person to begin with, he just didn't want any more High School Musical movies with lip syncing. I don't feel like playing this act. And right here, this is the room from Grunkle Stan's mind. This is actually where Bill Cipher takes full control of Hello Neighbor. And this is the boss fight. We aren't even... Nicky's actually also been possessed, because Nicky entered the mind of Grunkle Stan, and he now is Grunkle Stan. So this was actually the cut content from Gravity Falls that you never knew. So, we should be able to... Oh yeah, also when Nicky was a child, he learned to play football, which is why he can draw stuff so far. No matter what weight the object is, he can throw it just like a football. I'll provide an example with this box. I mean, that was pretty far, but it didn't even hit the lever, which was kind of dumb. I've actually made a full theory once. I haven't posted it on YouTube, but it was a full theory on how Nicky is actually the Joker from 2019 and Fred from Fred the Movie. Why can't I just not hit the switch today? Hold on, this is gonna take a bit. So, after this part, which actually I think I have a save slot for. So, this is Grunkle Stan protecting Dipper Pines from Batman. This is actually Wayne Manor. Batman is not happy that Grunkle Stan and Dipper and Wayne Man. That's why the place is so big, and why he's so giant. He's just mad. He's taken on the full form of fear. Bigger. This window represents the window between Batman and the player, because that is why it is there. Also, I'm pretty sure in the sequel to this, Zac Efron becomes the Hello Guest, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, let's wait for Nicky. Wait, I'm Nicky. Wait, I thought I was Grunkle Stan. This is Dipper Pines, right? So you might be asking, where is Hello Neighbor? Where is the Hello Neighbor? What's he up to right now? Well, the Hello Neighbor has actually passed away during these events, because he died of a heart attack while he was watching a Markiplier Five Nights at Freddy's video. He didn't even check for the jump scare times. So, Grunkle Stan has beaten up Batman. This is actually the pilot to Season 3 of Gravity Falls. And over here, we actually see the Hello Neighbor, the ghost of the Hello Neighbor. And he notices Grunkle Stan. He wants Grunkle Stan to save him from Batman. But Grunkle Stan cannot do so, because Grunkle Stan does not have the ability to get where Batman is. But Grunkle Stan already defeated Batman, so why is Batman still there? Because Batman cannot be defeated. You want to know why? Because he's Batman. And this is where Nicky wakes up. He realized that he was possessed by Grunkle Stan, and he doesn't have trauma from missing Zac Efron anymore. The broken door represents Nicky's broken mental health after realizing Zac Efron wasn't real. Because that's the end of the story. He realizes Zac Efron never even existed. So why is he worrying about anything in the first place? Why does he have this trauma, you might ask? Well, because he's an idiot.